Hi, welcome back to the It's Karate Time mix walkthrough. In this episode, we're going to be going over all of the keyboards, which there are a decent amount in this queue. So let's take a look. So one keyboard stem here with, if it'll open for me, come on now. A bunch going on. So all these sort of bluer, darker bluer tracks, I believe these are live ones from Babco. I can't remember his first name. Sorry, Babco. We recorded some stuff going on there. So these are all live tracks. Obviously, we muted a lot of stuff because they just sort of layered stuff on top of each other. But we kept actually quite a bit of it. And then these down here, these sort of other blue, greener blue, less bold blue, I don't know what you want to call that color, are all the keyboard tracks that came from the sequence for this cue. So let's just kind of thumb through these and see what's going on. So we got this M1 piano from Babco. Typical, M1 piano sound. We have another M1 piano. That's got a little chorus on it, so a little bit wider sound. Playing the melody there. There's these piano stings. Or maybe strings. Yeah, with strings. Kind of epic going on there. A little more movement at the beginning here. Korg bells. Lots of M1 going on. Actually, I think this is all on a Korg M1. Just a classic keyboard from that time. Digibrass harmony. 2 parts making up there. Cool sound. Pan flute. Playing the melody there. Excuse me. This lead, I have opened the broadcast version of this cue. There is a soundtrack version, which is what you guys would hear on Spotify and Tidal and Apple Music and all that. We did add this solo here, but it didn't make it into the show. It was just a little bit too much for the show. This wave mallet also got muted. Though I guess the sexy lead here is at the end. So let's take a listen to that. So just on that final sting at the end, we just kept a little bit of that there. This wasn't used, and then this one, a little bit going on here. Just kind of playing through those chord changes, arpeggiating through. Digihorn Master, this obviously was all muted. This was replaced largely by the live keyboard tracks up here. Then we're getting into the what came from the Synth Master. Sort of a bass pedal, nice sound. Here's the right hand. Oh, I'm sorry, actually, this Digihorn was muted because these two replaced it. They gave me a split, so I'd have the melodic elements separate from the left hand, the 2 hands separate. And this plays all throughout and is featured quite a few places. So that came baked in with a lot of effects, but it sounds great. That's what he wanted to sound like. There's no reason for me to try to recreate those delays and some of those reverbs and things like that. If it's working well, I just have people print that stuff for me. Though, like I say, otherwise I do like things dry. I've got some more M1 piano. I believe these all came, I think Zach also has an M1. That's where these are coming from. M1 Sonata, just another M1 track. Just kind of a little woodwindy, harpsichordy, Baroque kind of thing. Extra just low piano hit there. Little riff there. Otherwise, this is another thing that was probably just, with all of the these live keyboards, this was probably just too much, so we decided to mute that. Otherwise, what do we got? Great polysynth. Don't think that's the M1, but this is just another synth track that was a keyboard thing. A little extra harmony going on there. Magic Winds. What's this? It's a little break there on that little melody bit. That's a fun sound. Baked with lots of effects, but it sounded good. here's all the keyboards. So yeah, places where there's a lot of keyboards going on. At the beginning here especially. This is a huge element. Yeah, so tons of keyboards going on. That's all dry with none of my effects. I did add reverb to pretty much everything, though these are different varying levels of reverb. This is a good example here. Looks like I tried both the Valhalla and the Lexicon here and chose one. The effects that are going on here, the Valhalla, this is a long, so this is my synth pad reverb, I believe. I like this smooth plate. It sounds really good on synths and things like that if you want this long, luscious kind of sound. The 250, I think, is a bit more reasonable, 2.2, so not short, but not super long. And this Lex 224 is, oh, that one's pretty long too. So I kind of had two super long options and sort of a medium option. And then I have a room here too, but it looks like I didn't use it at all. This Hansa Studio is just another room that I sometimes use to add a little space to things. So first, let's just turn all the EQs on. So everything's got, you know, some mid-range cuts. I was filtering out anything low that didn't need to be there. So all these EQs are somewhat, you know, recognizable. These 88RSs here, I think I was using this 88RS on other things, non-orchestral elements in season 1 and 2 more. So this, I think, imported from my import template. Otherwise, I just sometimes use ProQ if I'm just going to do, you know, a couple little cuts and some filtering. And then, yeah, track by track, I chose which reverb I wanted to use. Probably just copy and dragged over these these sends as I was going. So we'll listen to those in a second. Oh, before I talk about reverb, though, some of these I did. This is a good example of fat wide pads. Let's check that out. This is on this strings kind of sound. So pretty mono-y sounding, doesn't have a lot of width to it, so I added this micro shift to just kind of, you know, spread it out in the mix. Yeah. Did some Moog EQ on these. Looks like I just wanted a lot of high-end, and this is just a really great high-end boost, and that's all I used this for. What tracks was that on? Oh, the Digibrass. Yeah, this needed to kind of stand out more, so I just added more high-end using that Moog EQ. Not doing a ton, actually. That's a great plugin. What else did I do here? Oh, Panther looks like I just balanced out. Yeah, it was a little bit light on the right side, so I just used this plugin to gain up the right side. This is a great plugin that everyone should have in their toolbox. Just if you have any stereo pairs and you need to change the channel separately, because a lot of times you'll get different levels and you don't necessarily want that, or you want maybe it to be more balanced, and then you can pan it later or do something later. Or you can EQ each channel differently, phase reverse it, all sorts of stuff. Change the pans internally. This is a great just sort of utility tool for working with stereo pairs, which I get a lot of stereo pairs in my work, in my day-to-day. So yeah, let's just play some keyboards and maybe just turn the effects on. Yeah, so I'm adding reverb, but not a ton. I mean, these already have reverb baked into most of these patches, coming from the M1 and whatever other plugins or synthesizers are going on here. So yeah, judiciously use reverb here and there just to give things a little more width, a little more depth, to kind of blend it in. Then finally, the only thing on the bus here, I did just do a little bit of mid-range EQ just to sort of clear up, because there's so many keyboards going on at the same time against other things. It looks like I just sort of cut some EQ there. Again, pretty subtle, but nothing super crazy. Just sort of clearing it up so that it sits in the mix a little better. Yeah, epic synths or epic keyboards, which is really fun. So that's it for the keys. In the next episode, I'll go over all of the other synths and then the solo shakuhachi that's on the final stem. Then after that, we'll check out the whole thing and what it sounds like put together versus the reference mix, and that'll be that. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.